What's going on, guys? I'm Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Hasbro The Black Series Whim at Attin from Skeleton Crew. Whim seems to be the main character of the Skeleton Crew series, and it's funny because as far as this action figure wave went, he was the one that I was least interested in, but since I bought the rest of the crew, I figured, well, I should probably get the main character of the crew as well. So here he is. This guy is a mainline release for the Black Series here in 2024, which means you're going to find him at most of your local retailers like Walmart and Target, as well as your fan channels like Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, which I did pre-order this figure through Big Bad Toy Store, which dropped into my pile of loot when it was ready to ship, along with the rest of the wave, and I was able to ship the whole wave all at once. I want to give a shout out to Big Bad Toy Store. They're awesome with their service. I use them for pretty much all my action figure pre-orders. So taking a look at Whim, he comes in the standard packaging for the Black Series here. Up at the top, you have your Black Series logo, a big plastic window showing you the figure and his accessories. In vertical text, you have the character's name, as well as that he is number 3 in the Skeleton Crew subline. Down here, you have the Skeleton Crew name in the yellow colored banner with some logos at the bottom. On the side of the box, you have the mural art for Whim here, showing him he looks like a nice little boy, and there you have his name at the bottom of the box. On the back of the box here, you have the Black Series logo, the character's name, as well as the mural art we saw on the side of the box blown up a bit, and we have a bio in about 1,000 different languages for the series. This bio reads, "When 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet, they get lost in a strange, dangerous galaxy, and finding their way home will be a greater adventure than they ever imagined." We reiterate here, he is number 3 for the Skeleton Crew subline. You got all your legalese down at the bottom. Please don't feed this action figure to your babies, guys. On the side of the box, we have the Black Series logo. On the bottom of the box, we have even more legalese, and on the top, nothing. And as far as packaging goes, that about wraps things up. So let's get this guy opened and we'll check him out. Alright guys, here's Whim out of the box. Before we check him out, let's check out the accessories he comes with. The first accessory being a backpack. All the Skeleton Crew kids in this wave came with a backpack. This guy's is done in like an off-white color. You've got some really nice paint applications here with some brown here for the backpack straps, a little bit of brown for the handle on the top here, and you see a little bit of brown and silver on the front of the backpack as well. On the side, I was checking to see if this piece came out. I didn't want to try it too much. It seems to be a piece that's glued in there. It's done in some gold plastic, it looks like, with some orange and silver paint applications. I'm assuming it's some sort of trowel or tool or something like that. However, he does have some other slots for these other accessories to go into, and I will show you that in just a second. But again, not much else to talk about. It's a backpack, and it gets the job done for what it is. Here we've got some of the other accessories. So this radio is interesting. This is the same accessory we saw with Neil. So I'm assuming that Whim is friends with Neil, and this is a shared thing that they have here, these walkie-talkies. This is done in a gray sculpt. You've got some nice kind of brick color and dark gray, almost gunmetal paint applications on the front here. This one does not have the same peg hole that we saw on Neil's, which is interesting, which means they sculpted this twice, once with the peg hole and once without, but it's a cool accessory nonetheless. We've got some sort of little tool here. This is just done in a little silvery plastic here. No paint applications on this whatsoever. It looks like some sort of wrench. And then of course we have a flashlight. All the characters came with different flashlights. It's done in like a very dark purple color, I think. It's got some nice paint applications here with the paint of the buttons in the yellow and the white, and it's got some nice sculpt work here. You can actually put this into the backpack, so this will stick out if you push it into the backpack here, as well as your little tool can also fit in the top of the backpack here. So that's great storage, and obviously I think we'll end up having him hold the walkie-talkie so that he can talk to Neil. Now let's take a look at Wim. As far as the character goes, I think the face is done very well. It doesn't really have that shine that some of the Black Series photo reels have. I think that this one looks really, really nice the way they've painted the eyes. All the applications look really clean. The hair is sculpted really, really well. I don't think it needs a wash because the sculpt itself is so textured, it doesn't really require a wash. This outer jacket seems to be a rubbery overlay, and then these sleeves are sculpted in. You got some nice paint applications. They painted these 2 gold buttons here as good noodle stars maybe. You've got maybe this is the logo of the school or something on the front of the jacket, and then you even have a little paint application here. This might be a little holo projector type thing, like an Apple Watch maybe, which would be a cool idea. It's got some really nice sculpted detail. No wash to help bring it out, but when the light catches it the right way, it looks really nice. He's got a couple extra layers going on underneath here with that little V-neck shirt, and then the shirt underneath is painted on there. And then down here at the pants, he's got some plain looking pants and some plain looking shoes. There's not a whole lot to talk about with this figure. He's got cargo pants on. The sculpting again, very nice textured sculpted detail on all the Skeleton Crew figures. Again, this kind of might play into why I'm not too excited about this character, just because he's just got such a plain design. I'm sure I'll love him when I watch the show, but as far as the action figure goes, right now I'm kind of whatever about it. Let's check out Wim's articulation. He's got a double ball jointed neck, as most Black Series figures do, which means he can look down quite a bit, and he can also look up a bit as well. He's got some good tilt there, as well as some right and some left. He does not have butterfly joints under here because he is a smaller character. He does, however, have your hinge and swivel, so the hinge gets you to that 90-degree bend, and the swivel gets you a full 360 degrees. He's got some deep cut single jointed elbows, which are going to get you just past that 90-degree mark, just barely, and there is a swivel at the top of the elbow. He's got some hinge and swivels at the wrists, so the right wrist has that swivel with a vertical hinge, and the left wrist has a horizontal hinge there. He's got a ball joint kind of at the midsection, which is between the sculpt of the kind of lighter colored shirt and then the blue shirt, and that's going to give you some decent range. I think they hit it in there really well. There's also a ball joint at the hips, which has some really nice range as well. He's got cuts for thigh swivels in the pants here, which once you unlock them are going to give you some extra range there. And then down here he's got some deep cut single jointed knees, which are going to get you just a little less than 90 degrees bend with a swivel at the top of the knee. And in true Black Series fashion, he's got that forward facing pin for rocker, as well as a hinge at the ankle, which gets you a little bit of forward and plenty of back. I also seem to be noticing there's like the ankle itself can kind of move forward and back, which is really, really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that on a Black Series figure before. I don't know if that's just because it's loose or if this is some kind of new articulation scheme that Hasbro is doing, but it definitely helps out with the range regardless of whether it's intentional or not. Aside from that though, Wim's got some really nice articulation. Putting the backpack on him, usually what I do for these characters is I stick the arms backwards and then the backpacks kind of slide themselves on. This one was probably the easiest to get on the figure. All of them in this wave were easy to get the backpacks on, but this one was particularly easy. Getting the walkie-talkie in hand here is really easy to do as well. I'm really happy with how this looks in the hand. You can get a nice little pose for him where he's kind of talking into the walkie-talkie there. And then of course we'll get the tool into that right hand. The tool actually fits really snugly into that right hand. It passes the shake test. This pose here actually looks pretty good with him kind of leaned down working on something. And we can of course get Wim with the flashlight in hand in a very nice pose there. And here we've got Wim in a nice little running pose here, maybe running from his pirates or running from his dad, who always seems to be yelling at him in the trailers. And here's Wim with the rest of the Skeleton Crew wave here. So you've got your Pirate Captain Brutus figure, you've got all the other kids here, and your Jod Nawood. This wave looks really fun, and I really hope the show is great because I'm really enjoying all the action figures from the wave. As far as Wim goes, like I said, I think this figure's honestly just a little underwhelming to me in action figure form, similarly to how I felt about the Jod Nawood figure. However, I really hope that when I watch the show, his character really shines, and I'll come to love the figure so much more if I enjoy the character. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. Make sure to check out my social media, all of which is linked in the description below. That's going to be all for this review, guys. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.